Ladies and gentlemen, we are engaging more in this topic of the importance of premarital counseling, and I've done several videos of why is it important for you to actually do premarital counseling before engagement, because I can see that people are doing it more when they are engaged. And the problem with doing it once you're engaged is that you are promising someone that you're going to marry them, and in the process of the counseling where you are with that person and you receive counseling and you start to know the person better. The problem with doing it when you have already been engaged is that you'll find that there are certain things that you don't find appropriate about the person. You don't like those things. But because of the fact that you feel that you have to fulfill a promise, you you end up becoming in trouble. And the whole videos and the whole sections that I've done already specify the different elements. And today we're going to talk about another element. And the reason why I'm doing these videos is because I want you to be able to talk with your partner, sit down with your partner, and actually explore the things that I talk to you about through these videos so that you can be comfortable enough. You don't always need a third partner, or if you think you need a third partner, I can be that third partner of yours. um I'm not a qualified counselor yet, but I can see that I have the ability to counsel people. But with the law and all, I have to actually have a qualification for that. And God willing, I will have that qualification. So today, as this title suggests, and it couldn't be for a field or today I want to talk about third parties. I want to talk about third parties and handling them in your relationship. And the obvious third party that people know is the cheater. When you're cheating, that is the obvious third party. But I'm not going to talk about the cheater or the affairs or someone else meddling in your relationship in terms of romantic aspects with that person. I don't want to talk about that because that is too obvious. Today I want to talk about the third parties that a lot of people overlook, because the third parties that I experience and the third parties that I observe through people, it makes them become people that they don't actually know who they are. You see, third parties in especially when it comes to women's minds, when I actually talk to them and counsel them, you can see that they have been damaged to the point that they let third parties uh, get inside their head to the point that they they let the third parties damage them. And I'm going to be specific of what the third parties are. The third parties can be in the sense that you don't think that you deserve to be loved. That's a third party. You don't deserve to be loved, and the mindset is the third party. The mindset that you think you don't deserve to be loved. So what you do is that to console yourself, you become hypergamous. And this is not only for ladies only, even men. You'll find that some men, they don't know what they have to do so that they can become monogamous. That's why I did a video that I said that they only think that they need to compromise their own principles in order for them to become monogamous. And that turns them to be beta, unfortunately. So the third parties that I'm specific of, I'm talking about the third parties that consume your mind. I'm talking about the third parties that people get into subconsciously, because third parties that are inert but they can be seen, things like pornography, things like urges, things like the media, things like female besties and male besties. Third parties can be things like a girls' night out, always putting your friends first. Third parties can be your parents or your relatives influencing your relationship. Third parties come in a lot of forms. Even sometimes they come in the form of you being promiscuous, but being promiscuous in such a way that you're promiscuous online, even if you're not doing it physically, but you have a man and you are entertaining other men on social media, or you are entertaining other men and you are saying that you are feeding that validation that you're looking for, that your man might not be giving you the fullest, or you're just not identifying that you need to work it out with him so that he can give you all the validation you deserve. With men, it can come in the form of pornography, come in the form of being tempted to have sex with other men, come in all sorts of form, especially right now, come in forms of emasculinity. That is a third party as well. Come in a form of temptations. You know, gentlemen, monogamy shouldn't make you feel like you're supposed to downgrade yourself now. You're supposed to uh, lose your principles as a man. It's not meant for that. It's meant for you to always become a man. You are an alpha masculine man, no matter if you are in a relationship or not. Though these third parties are one of the causes, and the common cause of third parties that I can see, or the common third party cause that I can see, is the pursuit of instant gratification. The pursuit of instant gratification is the worst third party that we are contributing towards these days. The worst one that I can see is damaging people. And because of the fact that we let instant gratification damage us so much, in the form of you want a guy who's good in bed, you want a rich guy, you want a lady who's going to do some miracles for you, who is going to always make you happy, who's gonna always satisfy you, who's always gonna be the dream girl, who's not gonna shout, who's not gonna complain. You see, the instant gratification is the third party that we are fighting against the most, and that is the third party that I'm fighting against the most, especially because I can see that it affects more women than men these days, because of the fact that they are liberated. So this is something that you should talk about when you're a couple, to see what are the potential third parties, and how do you have a conversation where you can see potential third parties. You have to talk about your past, especially when it comes to the negative aspects of your past, especially when it comes to your environment, your childhood, your background. You have to talk about certain things. You don't have to always talk about certain things that bring back traumatic experiences if you have dealt with them and they are not affecting you. But if they still affect you, or you try to pin them down, but you do certain behaviors that are not normal, and might be based on that trauma. You need to talk about it with your partner so that you can to see what are potential third parties. And some third parties need observation as well. You can see the way that the friends influence someone. You can see the way that the parents influence someone, the environment that they come from. You have to know where your girlfriend or boyfriend's environment is like when you get there. You have to know what kind of environment that is there. You have to, because otherwise they are going to bring that environment inside your marriage. And that's why I say that you have to do it before engagement, not before marriage. Because you'll find that they are a reckless spender because they have been given the privilege in their home to think that it is okay to spend recklessly because they have an abundance of money. And you find that you in your family, you don't have that kind of abundance of money. But because of the fact that the third party is that they have the mindset to think that they can spend impulsively, it makes it difficult for you to be able to move forward as a couple. So those are some things you need to speak about, because it's very much important that it even when it comes to what the other person wants, you have to be considerate, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be considerate of what the other person wants. It doesn't matter how much you want them to make you happy. Yes, you have to know that happiness is not a process but a result. What I mean by that is that happiness is something that you need to add upon so that you can get it. You don't add it, then you get a result of something else. No. If you make it a process, that is when you're going to make it a third party, and it's going to cost you a lot for your relationships. So I hope you find this video helpful, and I hope that you take note of whatever that I said, because it's very much important for you to know.